So now that we've installed and launched the EventBrite plugin, we want to navigate to it. And so what we do is to go to the launcher, and we see, you know what, we don't have EventBrite here. It's because we're not in the sandbox. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this, and we're going to go to the setup, and we're going to launch the sandboxes here. And then what we're going to do is to launch EventBrite from here. And that takes us to the EventBrite sandbox homepage. And then selecting, we actually do have EventBrite. Challenge is that we haven't yet authenticated. And what that means is making the handshake between EventBrite, in this case, and Salesforce. So we're going to allow it. This is coming from EventBrite's perspective, saying, do you want us to let Salesforce in? And we say, yes, that's fine. And this, I built a test event out there. And so we're going to say, yes, let's go ahead, and we want to start an import for that group. And so we're going to say, great, so start it. This is just to see kind of out of the box what happens when we do that. It asks us if are we sure? We say yes. And then what we're able to do is to do a refresh. And what we find is that we do have an event. And clicking on it, we find that the event basically shows up in this view, but because we're looking at recently viewed, we want to look at all. And then we do see that we have my test event out there. And so if we go back and we say, let's also look at attendees, we can see is that we do have 2 attendees. Again, launching that attendee list, we're going to this object, which is called an EventBrite attendee, and it's the import object. So all they've done at this point is to import it. So I'm going to take a look at all, and I have information about these events, and so I can actually let's see, this is related to a specific attendee, and it's showing a first name and a last name and an email address. And so I'm assuming if we actually click through on this, we'll come up with an attendee, and you can see that's my code. So lots of information in here, and we have a first name and a last name and an email address. So it's done its job importing. The challenge for us is, does it actually get us? So what it's done is as it said, it imported the EventBrite information. It imported events, orders, all these things. But what we actually need is to convert it to contacts. So we're going to do that in the next video by showing advanced.